Hello. So this is part 2 of the letter. Actually, I recorded this last night. And it was a pretty long video too. And I thought, oh, thank God I'm done. I can upload it today. But then when I checked the video, found out that although the gameplay was recorded, I guess my headset was on mute the whole time. So there's like a lot of dead silence, and then you hear the game, and then more dead silence. So I was like, shit. So that's why I'm doing it now again. Hopefully, I checked my headphones. I checked my headset. It's working, so everything should be fine unless I do something really stupid in the middle of this. But anyway, so on to part 2. Just a recap of part 1. So Isabella at the end met the ghost with its crooked foot and stringy hair and all that shit. And she ran out of the attic and down the stairs, but then tripped, fell, and got knocked the fuck out. So we are picking up right after that. Let's get started. A buzz breaks the silence. I start to rouse, pulled into consciousness against my own will. I've never felt this tired before. I just want to sleep, but the insistent buzzing, poking, and prodding isn't letting me. My old mattress may not be the comfiest of places, but that doesn't make me any more eager to wake up.
Isabella. 5 more minutes, Becca.
I swat away at what is nudging persistently at my side. Sorry. Can't I just get a few extra minutes of sleep today? I promise I'll work hard once I'm up. A hand lightly taps my cheek, and something cold is suddenly being pressed at the back of my head. The icy sensation slowly spreads throughout the area, giving me an uncomfortable feeling.
April, it's your eyes. Isabella? Isabella? Gosh, can you hear me? Isabella?
The fog immediately lifts from my mind the moment I recognize the voice and my eyes snap open. There, looking down at me, is Rose. Another woman loiters beside her, but my attention is too focused on my co-agent to even ask why there's someone else with her. Rose's posture just screams worry, although she's keeping a straight face, or trying at least. I can't help but feel bad for making her fret. A wave of dizziness washes over me as soon as I try to get up, forcing me to lie back down again. Luckily, the feeling subsides after a few seconds, until only a mild throbbing somewhere at the back of my head remains. With a little assistance from Rose, I push myself upright. She hands me an ice pack and gestures for me to press it where I suspect a small bump has already formed, if the light ache in the area indicates anything.
All right, Isabella, where are we?
The Ermengarde mansion. Why? Ow, my head.
And the date today?
October 21st? Rose.
Last one. Can you count to 15 in reverse order?
15, 14, 13, 12. No, that's wrong. Why are we doing this?
She's just checking if your injury is in any way serious.
This time, I curiously regard the woman standing beside Rose. It's impossible to overlook her, what with the way she towers over us. Okay, I don't know, but she doesn't look that tall to me. I mean, how short is this girl? And here I thought Rose is already tall. Okay, she must be really short. Seriously, I don't really see much of a height difference. I mean, it's there, but not... whatever. Who is she anyway? One of the remaining cleaning crews? Huh? She doesn't even... I'm sorry, how does like a fur... It looks like a fur or leather jacket. Gloves. She's wearing a freaking scarf. She's got... How in the hell does this automatically look like a clean... I don't know how you get to cleaning crew. I would say that was a guest. I don't... This girl's... Keep going. But with how primly dressed she is, I don't think anyone would want to clean in a suit, an expensive suit at that. The gloves alone must have already cost a fortune, you think? Her eyes slowly shift between me and Rose, considering us with an almost unreadable expression, before finally fixing a sharp gaze on me. I can't help but fold my arms protectively over myself as she does so. She may be far from a cleaning crew, but she certainly looks like our supervisor during evaluation.
Just do it, please.
I eye them both warily, but recite everything as she has asked. Rose releases a breath of relief once I'm done.
You scared me for a moment there. I was about to call for an ambulance. Are you all right?
Exasperation soon replaces the dull ache. The memory is a little fuzzy, but the attic? And
There was someone, Rose. In the attic.
Someone? You mean a client? Oh, that's unlikely. It's probably just one of the cleaning crews. The boss sent a few of them back this morning for some last-minute...
No, not any of those. I'm not actually sure. Wait, didn't I call you? You said you were in the attic when you answered. That's why I went there in the first place.
both Rose and the lady look at me like I've just grown another head. Did I say something weird? Rose quickly casts an apologetic smile at the woman before the awkward silence stretches on further. It's her saleswoman smile, the same one she taught me back when I was still her trainee. I should show this to troublesome clients or just to avoid trouble in general, she advised. It's also the same one she gives me when I've done something particularly absurd that may cause us to lose a potential sale. Her eyes are serious when she turns back to me. She takes both of my shoulders, gently squeezes it, and with as much patience as she can muster.
As much as I'd love to have gotten at least a heads up of your arrival, I didn't really get a call from you. You know, signal here is absolutely horrendous. I was in the garden earlier and couldn't even make a single call. Isabella, I'm going to ask again. Are you really all right? What happened?
I don't know. It's all a bit blurry. I remember I was looking for you, but you weren't in the attic. And there's... whoever it is. Then I must have tripped on a rug or something on the way down. Oh no. Do you think someone came in while you were out? You left the main door open. We are so going to get into big trouble if something gets stolen, Rose.
Perhaps it is a concussion.
Are you sure you feel fine? We could still call for an ambulance. I could cover for you.
No, I'm fine. I'm okay, Rose. I can work.
Wait. Hold your horses, Rose. I can't just miss an important sale because of a minor bump in the head. An extremely minor bump. I've had worse when I was a kid. This is nothing.
Besides, if I leave, you'll have to shoulder everything in the open house, alone. And in a mansion this big?
Well, there's also the part where I may lose the bonus BRC promised, but that's completely beside the point. Rose gives me a skeptical look when I return the cold compress to her and push myself off the floor. I have to use the staircase's railings to steady myself, but otherwise I feel fine.
See? I'm A-okay.
The two of them exchange a worried glance, and Rose assumes a contemplative look. I bite my lower lip in anticipation. If she says no...
All right, you in.
A smile threatens to slip out. A smile threatens to slip out from me.
But if I see that you aren't feeling well, I'm taking you personally to the nearest clinic to have you checked. Clear?
Clear as day, ma'am. Thanks, Rose.
You insisted. But remember what I said. First sign of you looking not okay, and we're off. No questions asked.
It's just a small bump. Don't worry.
You shouldn't downplay these kinds of things. It could be a serious injury for all we know.
Suddenly, a small cough sounds against the walls of the foyer, interrupting our banter. The woman is looking expectantly at the two of us, her stare making me shrink back a little on myself. She isn't really intimidating. Really? Well, she is. Uh-huh. But not in the scary, negative way. Far from it, actually. Her demeanor simply commands an air of sophistication and respect. In a different world, a younger me would have probably wished to be like her. At our lack of response, she coughs again, lifting a well-trimmed eyebrow at me in question. Words get caught in my throat at the sight of it, and Rose, as usual, is swift to catch my blunders.
My sincerest apologies, Mrs.
Miss McCulloch. Marianne McCulloch.
What? McCulloch? McCulloch? Do I have to do that when I say her name? McCulloch? Oh, God. She hands Rose her business card. The words interior designer catch my eyes before my partner flips it over. Oh, probably someone interested in the mansion for its 17th century influences then. I won't hold it against her, though. Did her email just say, like, xmail? Something at xmail.com? I mean, I know you could use Gmail, but xmail? That just... that I'm such a pervert. Anyway, sorry. Despite the hearsays and remaining uninhibited for years, the mansion's original fittings and furniture have been kept completely intact and restored to pristine condition. I suppose some people find that trip to the past feeling appealing. After all, with what it offers, this place could also be a haven for people looking to live somewhere with a classic historical charm.
Miss McCullough, I'm Rose Cooper, and this is my partner, Isabella Santos. We're just ironing out a few things, but we'll be starting the tour soon enough.
Oh, good. So I can say Miss McCullough. Good, because I don't want to sound like I'm hacking at the end. I'm sorry. I can't do it.
In the meantime, we've prepared some refreshments for you in the parlor while you're waiting. If you could please...
Thanks. There's no need for it, though. I just dropped by for a quick survey of the place. I thought I should check the estate before I meet with the homeowners.
Rose's confusion is impossible to miss when she glances at me, and I return it with an equally perplexed look. And, against my better judgment, I blurt out the first question that comes to mind.
I'm sorry. Homeowners?
I should have kept my mouth shut. A flash of irritation crosses her face, but it instantly disappears under a mask of professional detachment. Sorry.
Yes. Hannah Wright? I was hired by her to handle the interior design for their newly bought home. This is the Ermengarde mansion, right?
It is, but...
She pauses, possibly trying to find the right words to fix the awkward situation without offending anyone. Or someone. Suddenly, Rose nudges me with her elbow. Okay, so we'll check with our supervisor, or I don't know. Well, I'm gonna be honest, I have no clue. I mean, what are you nudging me for? I'm a trainee. Rose has more experience than this girl. She should be able to handle this mishap. How could I do it?
We're sorry, ma'am. We don't really know what's going on here. If it's okay, maybe we can...
Aren't you the ones in charge here? How can you not know what's going on here?
Touchy.
You see, Miss McCullough, right now the house is...
Amazing how she can keep her voice level, yet still convey utter displeasure with it. That was level? Okay, I do a better job of keeping my voice level. I mean, you could tell the instant she spoke, she was PO'd. But, okay. I've dealt with people acting the opposite before, and if I were to choose, it's much easier to handle clients who talk your ear off when angry. People like her are the hardest to read. Beside me, I shoot Rose a pleading look. She returns it with a glare before taking the reins from me and attempting to smooth out the situation. What? You're the senior! There's a promise in it that we will be talking about this later. I am not looking forward to that at all. Why? What can I do? She can deal with this better than me. Who knows what might come out of my mouth if I handle this on my own? Yeah, exactly.
We're really sorry, ma'am. My partner's probably still a bit winded from her fall.
Oh yeah, blame me. Uh-huh.
If she's unwell, then she shouldn't be working here right now.
Jeez. She raises a hand to rub the side of her temple as if to stave off the beginnings of a headache. Pompous.
Never mind that. I just want to know what's going on here. I was led to believe that this house has already been bought by my client and my services are needed for the house's interior design.
Perhaps there's been a confusion then. We haven't heard anything from our supervisors regarding a closed deal for this property yet. In fact, today's only the first day of our open house. If you wish, we can call them and confirm for you.
That wouldn't be necessary, but thank you for being direct with me, Miss Cooper. I already thought something was a little odd earlier. If you'll excuse me, I also have a call to make to my secretary.
With a slight wave of her hand, she leaves us. That seems to be the end of it. Both Rose and I breathe a sigh of relief. Disaster averted. Still, I've already prepared myself to dial the number to our Luxbourne office check, even if she didn't ask for it. I will be very frustrated if, for some reason, something has already been decided without my or Rose's knowledge. That's a whole new level of unfair. We've been working hard on this. Moments later, Miss McCullough returns, looking a little frustrated, but with an apology clear in her face. I feel a little sorry for her having to go through all this trouble. I don't know why you feel sorry for her. She does owe you an apology for being so freaking snippy over a misunderstanding. Good lord.
There seems to have been a little misunderstanding with my client.
Aha.
If you'll allow it, I'd like to stay and wait for them here.
You don't say.
I was informed they'll be dropping by for the open house today. I figured it'd be a waste to just leave after that long drive. I might as well meet him here.
Certainly. You could stay at the parlor in the meantime, ma'am. I'm sure it won't be long before our guests arrive. And, Isabella, I left a few documents in my car. You know where I keep those. Can you please get it for me?
Rose takes a glance at her wristwatch before tossing me a set of keys.
And hurry! We've still got a few minutes to double-check those papers.
Okay, got it.
The two of them disappear behind the parlor's door. Their departure brings with it a stillness to keep me company, neither welcoming nor comforting. Alone like this, it's impossible not to think of what really happened. I wish the memory isn't as elusive as it normally is. Then again, Rose already said she didn't receive any call from me. Was it just paranoia, a temporary lapse after having heard all those tales about this place? Probably. I want to think of it as such. Better to think of it as such, so I can work in peace. Except a small part of my mind begs to differ, and if I am going to be completely honest with myself, I want nothing more than to leave this place as soon as possible. I don't know what's in this house, and I don't want to know. The keys Rose have handed me dig into my palm, its jagged edges creating a shallow ridge its jagged edges creating shallow ridges on my skin from how hard I'm clutching it. It's a reminder of what I still need to do and why I've taken this job in the first place. Hugging my blazer closer to my body, I exit the house to get what Rose has asked of me. Just a few more hours, Isabella. Sell the house, get the money. Uh-huh. A flock of people have already gathered in the mansion's front yard by the time we officially open the doors. I'm not sure whether I should feel baffled or underdressed standing in their presence. Men and women of wealth and status, all dressed to the nines in fancy suits and lovely dresses of varying colors, compose the medium-sized crowd. Their necks, arms, and fingers are adorned with silver and gold, glinting in the afternoon sun. Some even have ridiculously fancy feathered hats on their heads. I really hope there aren't any magpies living nearby like in the stories. Those birds will have a field day in this. They are murmuring among themselves, looking at the estate's facade appraisingly, with some arguing about whose mansion has the superior architecture. Oh, rich people problems. But most of it stops as Rose calls for their attention. They don't look too pleased at being ordered around, but what can they do about it?
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Rose Cooper, and this is my partner, Isabella Santos. We'll be taking a tour of the mansion in 2 groups. Please make sure you filled up our sign-in forms before joining a specific group.
Those who want to look around the first floor, please follow my partner. I'll be guiding the ones who wish to see the ground floor.
What? Wait, but... Okay, that must be an English thing, because wouldn't the ground floor be the first floor, and then... Right. Hearing this, a few wander to me. They are mostly old ladies who seem daunted at the idea of climbing all those stairs. Miss McCullough also joins our group, but what really catches my eye is the elegantly dressed pair she approaches.
It's so nice to finally meet you! when Chief Inspector Lee mentioned that a famous interior designer is in town. I knew I had to get you.
Lovely, more pompous asses. I just love the atmosphere.
Your confidence in my skills is very flattering, ma'am.
I'm sure you won't disappoint, Marianne.
Oh, you know each other?
Clearly.
Not at all, ma'am.
Oh, really?
You mentioned something about a Marianne on our way here, darling?
Oh, yes, I think I did.
Oh, y'all suck. Right, okay. They must be the clients she was talking about. I might have seen their faces somewhere before. Some magazine or the television. I can't quite remember. But then again, most of our guests have likely ended up on the news, one way or another. I won't be surprised if these two already have. For people who are popular, though, they aren't dressed as loudly as the others, and in their simplicity, the couple stands out. The woman in particular is stunning enough to turn the heads of most people in my group, especially the men with wandering eyes. The guy standing beside her doesn't seem to mind, though. And if I'm going to be a bit bolder with my assumptions, I'd say he's basking in the attention. Both of them, in fact. I think they are brother and sister if it wasn't for their public display of affection. The matching rings on their fingers just cement the fact that they are indeed a couple. Whatever. Couple or not, what's important is we get this deal closed before the current owners can even think of canceling the listing. I just hope one of the people in my or Rose's group is brave and generous enough to buy this mansion. And so, with papers in hand, I lead the way. When they aren't whispering among themselves or going ooh and ah over one thing or another, they ask questions. From how the restoration process went to the history of the place, I answer them all, more than happy to talk about the art pieces and architecture mostly. However, I'm careful not to mention anything about the urban legend. Not a good material for sales talk, even if the entire population of Luxborn knows about it.
Some of the furnishings here are actually the 17th century originals, all of which have undergone a painstaking restoration process just to return its original beauty. Even the glass thing, colorful ones. Oh, I don't know, but you get the idea, I hope.
The stainless glass window back there? That's the only glass thing I can see that would be of any... well...
Especially that one, ma'am. It is said to be a gift commissioned by the fiancé of Lady Charlotte Ermengarde.
And you don't even confirm. So I'm just gonna... okay, fine. They're talking about the stainless glass. This thing right here.
The mansion's current owners have specifically requested that the restoration crew take great care in handling it.
Did I say stainless glass? I meant stain. Whatever, that thing back there.
It's a priceless work of art and the most distinctive feature of the mansion.
By the time I've stopped talking, her attention is already elsewhere.
Isn't this place wonderful, darling? I told you it's not a total waste of your time.
Her voice sounds familiar. I mean, not familiar as I know the voice actor, but familiar as a particular character, like from a Disney movie or something. I don't know. You know, one of those pompous ladies in court or some shit like that.
I don't know. Isn't it a bit too small? We might have to break a wall down to have more room.
Well, I think it is just right. Don't you think so, Marianne?
Mom, you haven't finalized anything with an agent yet. I would really advise against making plans this early when...
Never mind that. It isn't going to be a problem. We've got a wonderful legal team to handle everything. Start taking notes, though. I think I've got a few things I want changed before we move in.
God damn, haven't even made an offer and she's already laid claim to the place. The rest of their conversation gets lost in the chatter of our companions. I don't want to make any assumptions yet, but their sheer interest is enough to give me some semblance of hope. Oh, please, please, please let these guys be the one. Eventually, our group reaches the kitchen. Much like the rest of the house, a great deal of effort has been put in retaining the room's classical appeal. The open hearth at the end of the room in particular looks amazing, like the ones I've only seen in fairy tale books. And mad props to the cleaning crew. Seriously, after overhearing hundreds of their complaints about the soot and tar staining the bricks and how much of a pain in the arse cleaning this will be, they still managed to pull this off. Or make it look presentable, at least.
The highlight of the room, however, is what's underneath this hatch here.
Oh, don't say anything yet! An underground wine cellar!
Someone's attention just peaked. This is the first time the guy in gray speaks up. Mr. Luke Wright, my memory supplies from the forms they signed earlier. His sudden attentiveness catches me off guard. Since the start of the tour, only his wife has shown any form of genuine interest in the place. But this time, something lights up in his eyes at the mention of the undercroft. What's so interesting about a basement? I really don't understand rich people sometimes. He just said it was a wine cellar. This guy's probably like one of those winerds. If that's a word. Right now, he just gives me the impression of a child who has seen what he absolutely wants for Christmas. Yeah, a secret stash of wine galore that's been aged for like ever at his disposal. He'll never go empty for every single damn occasion. Mostly for himself, probably. I've always found it cute whenever I see children act that way. My younger siblings especially. On a grown man, it's almost funny.
Yes, sir. It could house around 7,000 to 11,000 bottles of wine.
Good God.
Truly. And the room, how was it built?
The bricks that were used to build the cellar had been carefully picked for the purpose of maintaining and preserving a constant temperature and humidity in the room. It's a good place to keep your private collection in if you have one, sir.
It keeps the corks in good condition.
Oh, love. Didn't you say before that you wanted to make your own personal vineyard? Perhaps you could start one here.
You know we're going to need space for that, darling.
And this isn't big enough?
If it's space you're worried about, sir, the Ermengarde mansion sits on a 46-acre lot. There's plenty of room for it. We were told that the original owners had a horse stable built here before, too.
There's a contemplative expression on Mr. Wright's face, but he doesn't say anything further. His wife, however, seems really pleased that he has started to show interest, if only a little. I smile to myself. I may not completely understand how these people's minds work, but I sure as hell know how to spot a buyer with sincere interest. Score! I can't wait to tell Rose. The rest of the tour goes by without a hitch. After more than half an hour, we're able to cover almost every room in the ground floor and are heading to the parlor. Funny, the first time VRC had us survey the property, I kept complaining to Rose how big it is. Now, I can't even bring myself to care, no matter how much my feet hurt. Maybe this is just my excitement over a possible sale. When we reach the parlor, however, an odd feeling washes over me. The fuck? It starts off as small goosebumps on my skin, a feeling of being watched intently. Whispers in my ear, and shadows dancing, lurking in the corner of my vision. Dark silhouettes that are gone when I turn to look. A chill settles down my spine, making me feel sick, and I start to break out in a cold sweat. I can't do this. I need to sit down for a moment. The old ladies in the group have been requesting for a break anyway. If I can just...
Excuse me? Everyone? We will be taking a 15-minute rest here before we visit the first floor. In the meantime, please help yourselves to the refreshments and snacks we've prepared. If anyone has any questions, feel free to approach me. I'd be happy to help you.
I let them sit while I retreat to a quiet corner to recover. It's not what you think. Don't think about it. It's not what you think. I've probably just caught Becca's cold. Don't think about it. I'm left alone for a good while, the same words spilling out of my lips in a silent prayer, until a hand taps my shoulder.
Hello, you there? Yes, ma'am? Oh, look at you! Having to show a group around a mansion this big must be exhausting. Not a problem, ma'am. I'm just doing my job. What a hard worker! Anyway, Isabel, right? Isabella, actually. But yes, what can I help you with, ma'am, right? Please, just Hana. Call me Hana. I just wanted to ask, how soon are we able to move in?
Huh? My brain completely stops. The sick feeling plaguing me is suddenly gone, replaced by utter bewilderment. Is this a joke? She looks at me expectantly as I struggle to come up with an answer.
Wait, ma'am, you see, but we haven't even negotiated a price yet, ma'am. We haven't even finished touring the rest of the mansion. A sale would be great and all, but...
She stops me from speaking any further and puts a hand on my shoulder. For a moment, with her tight smile, she looks as if she has tasted a particularly sour lemon.
Oh, please, sweetie, don't insult me. Money is not a problem. And, just between you and me, this place is better off with us than with some old lady who will probably just fill it up with cats.
I personally don't think there's anything wrong with having cats here, ma'am Hana. I'm sure there's more than enough space here if you want pets.
Perhaps I'm still not feeling well, but really, what's wrong with cats? More importantly, why is she talking about moving in already?
Well, I'm more of a dog person. But you see, this is going to be a gift to my darling. It's going to be our anniversary soon.
For your anniversary present, you're getting a house. See? Rich people. Whatever happened to, dinner and maybe, I don't know, a cheap watch or something?
And it would be so wonderful if you can secure its purchase for us.
I mean, God, it's people like this that make it hard for the average person to impress somebody. It's like, it's our anniversary. I'm gonna get a house. Last year, I got him a yacht. It's like, fuck me.
Why, I can even offer something extra if you help us out with the paperwork.
We actually have a process for this, ma'am. I don't really think that would be necessary or appropriate.
And just what are you two lovely ladies talking about here? Leaving me and our lovely interior designer to talk here by ourselves. What would the people think, darling?
Oh, it's just small talk, love. I was asking if she could help me with the paperwork.
I try not to wince when her nails dig into my shoulder. I can't help but send an imploring look at Miss McCullough, who only looks away with a sigh.
Yeah, I can give you a fact sheet and a form to fill out.
She wastes no time in taking the papers from my hand and shuffles through the bunch. Hey, that's the isn't that the sign-in sheets? Geez, someone's nosy. Oh man, Rose is gonna be so angry at me for letting her do that.
Wonderful. And Marianne, I'd really love to talk to you about those changes. You took some notes earlier, yes?
I did, Mom. But I really hope that this time...
Excellent. Hopefully you can help us out too, Isabel.
Isabella.
Right. It's a lovely name, Isabel.
I knew it. I knew she was gonna do that. See, you can't tell them anything. They just... I'm being biased. I don't mind rich people. I really don't. It's just most of them get on my goddamn nerves. Sorry.
It's Isabella.
Honey, give it up. It doesn't matter what you say.
Yes, that's great. We'll
See?
be more than happy to put in a good word to your superiors too, and... What's this?
Oh, shit! A look of confusion and disgust appears on her face. Turning to her husband, he merely shrugs in reply. You kept that? Or did it just... I don't remember her taking it out of the attic. Well, damn.
That's,
an interesting work of art. Not to my taste, though. I'm sorry.
Darling, Buttercup, art is a complete overstatement for this garbage. It looks like a cheap prop from a D-list horror film.
Shush, love. Let the girl do what she pleases with, what do they call this? Oh, forget about it. At the very least, it's not as dreadful as the one art exhibit I was forced to attend last month. You should have seen it, Marianne. Even you would have been appalled.
Dear God, she has the attention of a damn bird.
But I'm sure you'll know what to do with all walls once we get started.
Attention span. She's the attention span of a damn bird. Or a damn baby. God.
I highly doubt it is as bad as you say, ma'am. Nevertheless, you can be assured that my team will only pick whatever suits your tastes. Nothing of this chain letter sort, of course. It has to always work with a palette.
I'm quite sure chain letters these days don't come in this form.
It's my turn to be puzzled. What do they mean? Rose and I double-checked everything. Are the papers I handed not enough? I want to ask what I did wrong. I don't want to mess this up. But with the way Ma'am Han is leading the conversation, I'm afraid that's exactly what will happen if I do interrupt her.
That's good to hear. See, darling, isn't she an absolute delight to work with? I can't wait to see how this place will look when she's done with it.
See, every single time she says darling, it makes me think of somebody. It's like at the tip of my tongue. Like, darling, darling. Damn it! Oh, it's gonna nag me.
Oh, you don't have to tell me that, Buttercup.
A smile is back on her face when she turns to me and hands me a strange piece of paper.
I would still put it away if I were you, though. Otherwise, people might get the wrong impression.
Oh, she is so sweetly polite. It's irritating.
Anyway, as I was saying...
I don't hear the rest of what she says after that. I can only stare down at the paper, at the letter in my hands. The sides crinkle in my grip and my breathing grows labored. Dread quickly fills my mind.
Isabella? Isabella? Are you all right? You're looking pale.
I didn't even notice when Rose's group joined us in the parlor. I want nothing more than to say that, no, I'm not all right. I want to leave this place, because I remember everything as clear as day. This letter and that woman in the attic. Yeah, woman? She may have looked like a woman, but good God. It's real.
The letter... I'm sorry, I didn't know.
Careless. I've been so careless. How do I even tell them that without looking like I've gone mad? Should I tell them? No, you shouldn't tell them. You're trying to freaking sell a house right now. Don't freak out, people. No.
Rose,
Keep your mouth shut. The words are stuck in my throat. I want to tell her. I really do. But is she going to believe me? She already dismissed me earlier. It's a concussion, she said. It's not. There really is something in this house, in that attic, in that letter. It's going to go after us. Please believe me.
Dear me, is Isabel all right?
Ma'am Hana's voice breaks through the haze beginning to cloud my mind. Rose is looking down on me, worry etched on her features. I didn't even notice when she removed the wrinkled paper from my hands and pushed me down to sit on a nearby chair. From the edge of my vision, I can also make out Miss McCullough asking a passing food server for a glass of water. Through it all, Mr. Wright stands in the sidelines. Although curious, he appears more inclined to watch the scene than help. They are all as likely to believe me as Rose does. To everyone, whatever's in this house is just a hoax, a cautionary tale for children.
Isabella, do you need me to call that ambulance?
She offers me a drink, but I push it away. I need to get out of here before I cause an even bigger commotion. Clear my head, take a breath of fresh air, anything to take my mind off things. No one is going to believe me anyway.
No, I'm just feeling a bit out of it. Excuse me, I'll be back. I just need to catch my breath.
Bowing my head, I mutter a quick apology and gather my stuff to make quick exit. It doesn't matter if this place is haunted or not. I've caused trouble, and Rose can be quite unforgiving of behavior like this. I'm almost at the door when she catches up to me.
Isabella, wait!
The apprehension must have been quite obvious on my face, because her expression instantly shifts to something gentler, eyes softer, a fond smile spreading on her lips.
Hey, I'm not angry.
I know. I'm sorry I ruined this for you.
Come on, you didn't ruin anything. It's not like we haven't ran into any problems before. If we don't get a deal today, we can always try on a different day. And look.
She hesitates, completely trailing off, before shifting her gaze down to her hands, a small gesture to stall. Her fingers are fiddling with a piece of folded paper. It's that stupid letter again. My hands stiffen when she gives it back, but I take it nevertheless, more as an automatic response than any desire to have it back. I'll throw it away if I can. But I have this nagging feeling that, one way or another, it'll find its way back to me regardless of what I do about it.
Rose, this is... You have to let them know about...
I know you want us to get this sale so badly, and we've made a lot of plans on how to go about this. I mean, who wouldn't? This is the first time I've been assigned to a property like this.
Excuse me.
I've sold plenty of houses before, but nothing like what we have here. It's a beautiful house. I'd love to get one of my own if I ever win the lottery. But I think... Look, here's the thing, Isabella. If we are going to do this, work on something, I don't know, this big, I need you in top shape. And the way you are now...
My mind stops.
What? Wait. No, I can still work. I just need to get myself together.
That's what you said earlier. I let it go because I thought, hey, it's your own body and you should know more than anyone how you feel.
Okay, she just said she needed to get some air, and you're just automatically dismissing her from the job? What? She's not allowed to just take a break? You know, step outside, listen to the birds and the bees, that sort of thing?
But after this, I really think you should take a break.
Good God, she...
You're kicking me out?
No, I'm not. Look, all I'm asking is for you to take a seat somewhere I can see you, and let me handle this for now.
Yeah, and take all the reward money for yourself.
You're clearly not yourself, and I honestly could use some time not worrying when you'll fall over or not. The day's not even over, and I'm already feeling the stress.
You're feeling the stress. You didn't see what she saw earlier in the attic.
Please, humor me just this once.
She clasps her hand together in front of her, eyes pleading for understanding. And I do understand. To some extent. That doesn't mean I'll feel any less awful. Whether at myself, at the unlucky turn the situation has taken, or for her, I don't really know.
I promise I'll give you a full report of what happens after. I'll even let you take the lead tomorrow.
Fine. Okay. I'll step aside for now.
You're upset.
A little, yeah, obviously.
If it's any consolation, I won't tell the boss about today. You know how he is.
Please don't. I don't want a repeat of the lecture I got during my first assignment. He called me a noob, and I don't even know what that means.
At the memory, we both burst into helpless giggles, earning us strange looks from the guests milling about the door. Talking and laughing like this, it's easy to forget any mishaps that happened. Little things you learn to appreciate, I guess.
So, are we good?
I'm still not okay with it, but Rose has a point. It's better for me to step out of this one for now.
I won't be able to help you anyways if I keep getting distracted like this. Maybe I'll just take a walk outside or something while I wait for you to wrap things up.
Please, just stay put. I insist.
I'm not an invalid, Rose.
You clearly have not seen how you looked earlier.
It's not that bad.
Color hasn't even returned to your cheeks yet. Just stay here, all right? Don't even think of going anywhere. Let me finish what I'm doing here, and then I'll take you back to Luxembourg myself to have that minor bump checked. At least wait for me to call someone who'll fetch you, okay?
She's gone before I can voice one word of complaint. Left with nothing else to do, I find myself drifting back to the foyer. A few visitors linger in the area, some merely enjoying the afternoon sunlight streaming through the stained glass windows. Others can be seen admiring the priceless antiques decorating the room. One group of elderlies, gathered some ways across from me, is occupied in a friendly banter about which one would cost more to buy. A little argument here, an occasional laughter and teasing there. I smile to myself. The conversation reminds me of what I've been missing these past few months. Rose is probably right. I do need a break. Maybe this afternoon's hangout will help. Speaking of, I should call Ash. Why? It's a few hours early from what I've told him, but he did ask for a call once I'm done. Yes, call the douchebag. Besides, I don't have a ride back. He offered, so I might as well take it. Didn't Rose say she would give you a ride? But somebody really wants to see this guy. I mean, I'm pretty sure he's the neighborhood pretty boy in this story. But he still sounds like a freaking jackass. Anyway, or bribe him into giving me one. Not that he'll ever accept the latter, personal convictions and all. Honestly, if there's something I find admirable in him, despite his tendency to annoy the hell out of me, it's that. Well, whatever way works, a free ride is still a free ride. There's Rose's offer too, but despite what she says, I know she'll be busy for the rest of the afternoon, especially without me assisting. Bothering her for a favor as small as this is the last thing I want to do right now. A couple of minutes and a few prayers asking for a decent signal later, the call finally connects, and—
Shit! Sup, I'm Ash from Deluxe City. Baggers, watch out, can't beat me. Looking for trouble? Better not lie. I'm a cool dude, pretty fly for an Asian guy. Sup, I'm Ash from Deluxe City. Baggers, watch out, can't beat me. Looking for trouble? Better not lie. I'm a cool dude, pretty fly for an Asian guy. Sup,
For real.
I'm Ash from Deluxe City.
What?
Watch out.
Shit, how loud is this thing even?
Looking for trouble? Better not lie. I'm a cool dude, pretty fly for an Asian guy.
A sharp ringing fills the entire hall, disrupting the pleasant quiet that has settled.
Looking for trouble? Better not lie. I'm a cool
Soon
dude,
enough,
pretty fly for an Asian guy.
heads begin to turn in search of the
Ash from
source.
Deluxe City.
Mine
Baggers,
included.
watch out, can't beat me.
Seriously?
Looking for trouble? Better not lie. I'm a cool dude, pretty fly for an
It
Asian
sounds like
guy.
something like
Sup, I'm Ash from
a
Deluxe
mix
City.
between like—
Baggers, watch out, can't
I mean,
beat
when he
me.
says pretty
Looking for
fly, it
trouble?
reminds me of
Better
that
not lie.
white
I'm a cool dude, pretty fly
that
for an
white
Asian guy.
guy song
Sup,
from the
I'm
90s.
Ash from
I think that was
Deluxe
the
City.
90s.
Baggers, watch out,
Um,
can't beat me. Looking for
But then
trouble?
after that, it's
Better
like,
not
you know
lie.
those
I'm a
raps
cool dude,
that
pretty fly for an
that
Asian
freaking
guy.
adults do to
Sup,
like try
I'm
and get
Ash from
kids
Deluxe
to
City.
remembering shit?
Baggers, watch out, can't
It's like
beat me.
that.
Looking for trouble?
Oh
Better
god,
not
that's
lie. I'm a
embarrassing.
cool dude, pretty fly for an Asian guy.
Okay, I need to—
Sup, I'm Ash
my
from
eyes dart
Deluxe
around the
City.
small
Baggers,
crowd
watch
before
out,
zeroing
can't
in on the
beat me.
lone figure
Looking for
crouched
trouble?
behind the same
Better
group
not
of old
lie.
people checking
I'm a
out the
cool
decor
dude, pretty
decors
fly
moments
for an
ago.
Asian guy. Sup,
He is
I'm
facing
Ash
away
from
from me, fumbling
Deluxe
with something
City.
in his hands.
Baggers,
Turn
watch
the
out,
fucking
can't
phone
beat me.
off!
Looking
But I
for
don't
trouble?
need to see his
Better
face to
not
know
lie.
whose back
I'm
it
a
is.
cool dude,
Oh,
pretty
I'd
fly
recognize
for an
that
Asian
dumb
guy.
parka anywhere.
Sup, I'm Ash from Deluxe City.
Without bothering to end the
Baggers,
call,
watch
I
out,
marched towards
can't
him.
beat me.
Really?
Looking for trouble? Better
After what
not
happened
lie.
today, I'm
I'm a
really not in
cool
the mood to
dude,
deal with
pretty
this.
fly for an Asian guy.
You're pissed
Sup,
off
I'm
because
Ash
his—
from Deluxe City.
whatever,
Baggers,
girl
watch
problems.
out, can't
Of all
beat
the
me.
times to-
Looking for trouble?
Ashton Frey!
Thank you! Good God, it was funny at first, but then damn. What happens next is something I'll surely regret later for having not recorded.
Ah!
He jumps, lets out an undignified yelp, followed by his phone slipping out from his grip. It bounces from one hand to the other in his poor attempt to catch it, before ultimately falling flat on the floor with a resounding clack. I kind of feel sorry for the phone. And the floor. But it's not every day that you can catch someone like Ash off guard and get a reaction. Damn his stupid detective senses. I'll take every ounce of victory I can get, no matter how small. Ha! An awkward pause passes between us. A blink. A cough. He makes a face. And then, in a too-quick motion, he ducks and retrieves his abused gadget, while a grin threatens to break out from my lips. He doesn't meet my eyes when he straightens, but a flush has crept up his neck and cheeks. In another universe, where we haven't known each other for 5 years and suffering through his teasing isn't a day-to-day occurrence, chances are I'd find that adorable. Endearing, even. Unfortunately, this isn't that kind of world. The way things are, I'm already content to see him out of his obnoxiously calm and collected disposition.
Hello to you too, scaredy cat. I could stand to be greeted like a normal person, you know.
Oh, and then he gets all cool, calm, and collected like the douchebag he is. Fan-fucking-tastic.
What? And miss that look on your face? No way. Oh man, I should have taken a picture.
I am so honored you find this funny. Is that how you treat your guests? I think I need to talk to your supervisor.
Gosh, he oozes douchebag. I don't care if he's a pretty boy. His personality is like... Ugh. Okay.
Talk to yourself. You aren't even a guest here. What are you doing here in the first place?
For a moment, he looks like a cat that swallowed the canary. Suddenly, checking every nook and cranny in his phone for any damage or scratches seems to be more interesting activity than explaining himself.
Ash?
I could be looking to buy a house.
A mansion?
Yeah, why not? Did you see the view outside? It doesn't look haunted to me at all.
He's messing with me.
Ashton, I am not in the mood. What are you doing here?
He chances a glimpse at some point behind me. The parlor? Curious, I follow his gaze, but before I can figure out what has caught his attention, he places a hand on my shoulder and turns me back to face him.
I just finished working on something, so I dropped by.
I still don't see how his work has anything to do with why he's here. At my confused look, he drops the hand resting on my arm, like he has touched something particularly hot, and casually rubs the back of his neck.
And I said I'll see if I can pick you up. Turns out I can. Free time and all. So here I am. Figured you'd still be busy, and so I roamed around for a while.
You're a terrible liar.
Oh, you should have mentioned that sooner. I was about to throw you out.
And you're horribly gullible. I hope you're kidding.
Throw me? Hey, I was given a pamphlet. I think that makes me a legitimate client.
We have mandatory sign-in sheets for clients, Ash. I didn't see your name on it. And you can't just roam around because it says open house. Normal people actually follow an etiquette here.
Actually, when it says open house, I thought that was the thing, that you could just roam around. Like, you know, the realtor is just right at the front door, greets you, gives you a friggin' pamphlet, tells you a little thing, and then it's like, have at it. At least when I go to open houses, that's what it looks like, and they have their freaking little cheese and meat plate and thing of coffee with the stupid paper cup and... Okay.
Right, okay. I think I'll just go ahead and...
No, wait. I wasn't really going to throw you out. Rose said... Never mind. I was just about to leave anyway.
Wait, what? Now?
Something must have shown in my face, because he pauses and gives me a long, hard stare. Sometimes I forget how easy reading people is for Ash, given how he often looks as if everything around him is a chore. I avoid his eyes, hoping he'll drop the subject and won't ask any more questions. The last thing I want is to tell him what happened, especially the part about the letter. In fact, he's the last person on Earth I'll ever think about telling it to if I can help it. Sure, he's a dependable guy. God knows how many times he has helped me, even without me asking for it. But stuff like ghosts and the supernatural? He'll never believe those even if he hears it from a friend. Except maybe if it's Becca. On a good day, the most harmless thing he'll do is give you an explanation why those things have no chance of ever being real. At worst, he's insufferable. He'll poke fun at you at every single chance he'll get. Ashhole! What did I ever do to him? He never does that to Becca or Zach. I can already imagine how things will go down the moment I spill a word of what I saw. Nope, over my dead body. You're like the little bratty sister everyone teases of the group, I guess. Before it catches his attention, I shove the letter deep into my bag.
What's wrong?
Nothing. Let's just go.
Doesn't look like a nothing to me.
We still have Zach's movie tonight, remember?
It's still early. And didn't you say your shift will end around 5 or 6? What about... Hey, Isabella, wait up!
A rush of air greets me as soon as the main doors open. Not the usual autumn draft, but it's still a welcome change from the stifling atmosphere inside the mansion. Ash's footsteps are quick behind me, the soles of his shoes thumping hard against the polished concrete in an awkward cadence as he rushes to catch up. He calls out once, twice. The mansion still looms in the background. Whispers calling me back, shadows beckoning. Yeah, fuck that. I don't look back. Good for you. We spend the ride back to Luxborn City in a relatively quiet manner, with only the radio's disjointed hum in the background to fill the silence. Occasionally, Ash will reach out to fiddle with it until the signal settles or it's on a respectable volume, but otherwise he doesn't say anything. Neither do I. Okay, really? Zarbucks coffee. Seriously, Zar with a C. Zarbucks coffee. Oh, sweet Jesus. What else is... Okay, that's the only one. Zarbucks coffee. Lovely. However, if the furtive glances he's been sending my way are signs, I know there are things he's been itching to ask since we left the mansion. I keep my eyes trained on the passing scenery outside, in the small hope that my disinterest will dissuade him.
Here.
All of a sudden, he tosses something at me from a small compartment on his side. It hits me cleanly on the chin before I can make a move to catch it. The small package makes a soft landing on my lap instead.
Sorry.
The glare I send him wipes the smirk about to form cleanly off his face. He clears his throat, focusing his eyes on the road again. I swear, he did that on purpose. Ignoring him, I flip the half-forgotten package on my lap.
I won't say no to free food, but why are you giving away cereal bars?
I always have one on my person, and you look like you're about to pass out back there. Have you eaten lunch yet?
I don't even get a chance to deny it, because right on cue, my stomach rumbles loudly and an empty, gnawing feeling in my belly becomes noticeable. No surprise there. I did skip breakfast and lunch so I could catch Becca while she was on break. I was hoping to get a small meal after. I guess with everything going on, I just forgot until Ash mentioned it. It's not like the hollow feeling's new to me, though. If anything, it's just one of those things I've gotten used to ignoring over the years, growing up. A thanks, then I tear open the package and start nibbling on the edge of the bar. Apart from an acknowledging nod, Ash doesn't say anything after that small exchange. For that, I'm thankful. After getting an earful from both Becca and Rose, it's nice to be able to just sit down with someone who's not going to nag at you.
How'd the open house go?
The usual. We got a bigger crowd than normal because of the property's fame, but really, no different from the typical open house. On second thought, it actually looks like a fancy party more than an open house. I've never felt so underdressed in my life. Weren't you there?
I wasn't really listening.
I should have asked someone to kick you out.
No, you won't.
And what makes you so sure?
One, ever since you got assigned to this property, you've been freaking out about it. Rebecca's words, not mine. She's been complaining to me about how you talked your ears off, by the way. Two, despite your initial qualms about the place, you still took the job. Which brings us to 3. It's been months since you last settled a deal, and you're short on money right now since you're back to your instant noodle diet.
How do you even know about the last one?
Rebecca. Anyhow, you're hell-bent on selling the mansion. Even if someone you know personally is in the tour group, you aren't going to just kick them out. Every single person who went on your open house is still a prospective client to you, even me.
He's not entirely wrong. Oh man, I walked right into that one, didn't I?
I hate you. I really hate you right now.
It's just me, or was that a little flirty? I mean, not that line, I mean that conversation. It just seemed kind of like... Whatever, she's a ditz, I don't like her. His answer is a small laugh, the kind that screams, "I'm right, I told you so." I hate it when she does... I hate it when he does that.
I'll have you know that there's already someone who's extremely interested in this property. So even if you expressed any sort of interest in it, I don't think they'd be willing to let you have it. Too bad.
Provided I didn't botch it with the rights. Why, of all times, did I have to screw up like that, in front of an important customer, no less? What, by letting her see the letter that you had no idea was in that stack of papers that she just happened to take right out of your hands without asking? That's your screw up. Yep. I owe Rose a big apology. I hope she likes free donuts.
You don't seem too happy about it.
I am happy. Doesn't this look like a happy face to you?
No.
Really? And here I was thinking you found another one stuffed in the sofa.
Seriously, what happened on your last open tour? I mean...
Or is it the wardrobe this time?
The fuck? How many dead bodies do you come across? He meant that as a joke, but how close it is to the truth made my blood run cold and my own heart beat a heavy weight in my chest. All at once, the letter in my bag feels a whole lot heavier, burdened by my own guilt and apprehension.
Yeah, well, things happened. Stuff the right couple might not be pleased about. No need to make a fuss about it. It's normal in the business.
You made them angry?
Jeez, prodding much?
Not angry, just stuff happened.
Like?
Dude, take a hint!
Things.
Did they do anything? Your clients, the rights, was it?
Okay, it must be because he's a detective. He doesn't know how to take a hint. He just keeps pushing and pushing and pushing. I thought reporters were bad, but Jesus Christ. I can't answer that. At least not without revealing everything that took place in the attic. Change the subject or lie to him. Oh please, if he's as good as this girl thinks he is, he's gonna know a lie as soon as before it even exits her mouth, so...
You keep asking me about my work, yet you haven't said a single word about yours. That's not fair. Both you and Zach have literally disappeared off the face of the earth.
An over-exaggeration, but changing the subject to something else is still better than outright lying to him. Besides, it never works with him. I'm not sure if it's because I'm just bad at it, or because he's just really very good at his job. He doesn't answer immediately, only momentarily shifting a glance over me and returning it back to the road when he has to make a sharp turn. Outside, the sun has already started its descent, casting a vibrant orange glow on the tall buildings. I wonder how long before we reach the venue for Zach's film. Checking the street signs outside, it appears Ash has taken the longer route. Odd, but he's probably trying to avoid the rush hour traffic.
Didn't we just talk a week ago over chat?
That's different. Linking your awful memes in the group chat box every morning isn't exactly a conversation.
Excuse me, I don't hear you calling them awful while you're laughing at all of them.
Shut up! And you aren't answering my question.
That earns him a soft punch to the arm. I did laugh at them, but I'm not going to give him the satisfaction of knowing that I find most of them funny. It'll only make his head bigger. Stupid Ash.
All right. Lay off on the abuse. Remember that case I mentioned before? We've been trying to pin the bastard down, but it required more work than we anticipated. The guy's slippery like that. We got some good lead months ago.
He recounts what he's been doing in the time we haven't seen each other. His usual work, the occasional small investigation, and the big case he's been stuck working on. Stuff he couldn't mention in the brief time we catch each other online. Although most of it are the trimmed down version. Shouldn't it be? Although most of it is this trimmed down version. Only things he can tell. He has always been careful about that. Even in the way he spins his answers to my questions. Just enough to satisfy my curiosity, but not enough to paint the whole picture. At one point, his voice takes on a strained tone when he mentions something about the big case, but I don't dwell on it much. That's normal, right? I mean, who wouldn't be frustrated if you couldn't bring someone to justice because they kept slipping out of your fingers? If I were in his shoes, I'd definitely lose my mind. His stories never cease to be entertaining regardless. If things weren't the way they were back home, maybe I would have considered taking on the same job as him. Well, nope, not really. Mama would never allow that. But the idea is still there. Along with countless others I've let go. Time passes quickly between us in this manner, and before I know it, we're already at the movie house. A small crowd has already formed in front of the theater when we arrive. The Lift Fest, short for Luxborn Independent Film and Theater Festival, attracts a bigger crowd annually, and this year's no different. I've only been to a few indie film screenings with Zach, so I'm not an expert on the matter. But I know that for people hoping to make a break in the industry, getting your film recognized by a local event like this is already a big deal. Especially for a newcomer like Zach. He hasn't even won an award, but just getting a confirmation letter that the festival committee wants to include his movie in this year's lineup already put a grin on his face for weeks. Pocket Chibi. Pocket Chibi! Oh, good God. What's that, Batcat? Coming soon. Pocket Chibi and Batcat. And then Point of No Return. I have no idea what that's a reference to. If somebody knows, please tell me. Oh, speaking of the guy, he's impossible to miss. Oh, right, it's the tall black guy. At 6 feet, he appears to loom over most of the moviegoers, and with his large build and heavy voice, there's no surprise when people give him a wide berth as they pass by. I'm pretty sure there is another reason, because I don't know if anyone else noticed, there's not that much ethnicity in this game. But, I like Zach. Zach's a pretty cool guy. And I really like the fact that he's not white. I think Ash is supposed to be Asian, but seriously. With a name like that and looks like that, besides his hair. Anyway. It's often easy to mistake him for someone intimidating at first glance. That wasn't meant to be racist. My mind just sucks. I did, back when I didn't know any better. You closet racist. That's what all people with minor racism in their minds do. I did it too. Don't be ashamed. It's okay. Ash did too, I heard. Once, early in their friendship. Yeah, I bet he gets that a lot.
Oh, there's Zach!
See? What'd I say? Tall black guy, and he's got dreads. Nice.
Hey, you guys! Long time no see!
And he sounds cool and laid back. I think I'm gonna like him. Zach's face lights up with a smile of his own. He moves towards us with careful steps, taking a significant effort to make himself smaller so as not to bump or accidentally hit anyone. Okay. Typical Zach. As he nears, Ash casually raises his hand in greeting and...
Sup, Z-Man! My main man! What's crack-a-lackin', my homie?
Oh dear God. Okay, what was that? Do people even use those words? Crack-a-lackin'? I haven't heard that in, Jesus. The awkwardness that descends within the immediate vicinity of our small group is palpable enough. No shit. Somewhere to our left, a girl giggles, and only then do I become aware of my mouth hanging open. I'm almost amazed how Ash can say that out loud with a straight face. Almost. Considering his track record, I should be used to it by now. Zach seems to be. Oh, right, because he's the resident douchebag.
Yo, stop trying to act black, Ashton. And you're the only one who calls me Z-Man.
See, I'm sorry. I mean, I am closer to being allowed to act black than this guy, and I'm not even allowed to do that. Like, seriously, I can't do it. Every time I even try, I get told, no, you can't do that, or you can't say that. Even though, and at first glance, you'd think I would be allowed to. So what the fuck makes him think he can? I'm sorry, having one black friend in your group of friends does not mean you can act that way. Oh god, this is great. There's fondness underneath his exasperated tone. If this were any other person, he'd likely be offended, but years of friendship and familiarity have made those words harmless to the other's ears. Or at least enough for both to take it in stride.
It's been a while, Zach.
I hope you didn't get into trouble again.
Not much to get into trouble lately without you, I'm afraid. I'll let you know if something comes up, though.
Nah, I ended up with chicken down stuck on me last time I agreed. I'd really love at least this year to pass without some sort of accident happening again.
Hey, I take offense to that. It wasn't that bad.
Yeah.
You really have no idea.
A beat passes. And then Zach laughs.
Hey, I'm kidding! You know you can always count on me.
It's a story only the two of them are privy to. Every now and then, Ash will enlist Zach's help on something. Becca and I never really found out what the real deal is with those adventures, as Ash calls it, and both aren't willing to tell due to some unspoken agreement. She insists that if it's Ash, it's likely not something illegal or life-threatening. I tend to believe her on that. Sometimes. Yeah, just because he's a cop doesn't mean he follows the letter of the law to the T. I mean, cops, they're like more prone to get away with it, or like skirt the law just a little bit and get away with it. That is not a diss at any cops. I don't mind cops. I'm just an equal opportunity hater, I guess. Anyway. Ah well, boys will be boys, I guess. I give Zach a small wave from behind Ash when his attention eventually turns to me. Sorry.
Bella! Huh? Rebecca's not with you. Is she still sick?
A bit. But she's up and went to work this morning. You know she doesn't listen to anyone that's not Ash.
Yes, she does.
Ooh, touchy.
No, she doesn't. You're literally the only person she'll listen to when she's feeling stubborn.
And it's true. They've known each other far longer than any of us in the group. Childhood friends and all.
But don't worry, Zach. She's probably on her way here now. She promised she wouldn't miss your movie. Isabella! Oh, thank goodness!
Speak of the devil. Without warning, a hand grabs me by the shoulder and turns me around.
Becca! You're just in time!
I have to lean back a little with the way her face is almost invading my personal space, but she places her hand on either side of my head to keep me still. She stares at me intently, concern filling her eyes. Okay, how old are you? Because you are acting like the oldest. You can't be that much. Oh dear.
Becca, you're squishing my face. How are you? Are you alright? Why wouldn't I be?
Rose called me earlier.
Those 4 words tell me all I need to know. Since I don't have my family living close by, and the only other relative I have here works on the far side of the country, I gave my company Becca's contact number in case of emergency. I should have known Rose would call her. I pushed Becca's hands away from my face. Although she lets go, her eyebrows remain drawn together.
Oh, no! Everything's good. Rose covered for me at work today.
That's not what I'm talking about. How's your head?
Beside me, Ash snickers. I bite back the urge to elbow him in place of trying to avoid Becca's hand as she tries to reach out for the set area. I do my best to dodge her, all at once moving to hide behind Zach. Sorry for using you as a human shield, Zach.
Oh, it's nothing. I just slipped off a few steps on my way down. I blacked out for a few seconds and had a minor bump, but it's just that.
You blacked out? It's not something to brush off.
Okay, calm down, Mom. Good Lord.
Come on, at least let me check it.
It's extremely minor. You wouldn't even know it's there.
Isabella, this isn't a laughing matter.
She did look pale when I saw her.
Oh god, yeah, thanks, dude. Not helping.
Wow, thanks a lot, Ashton, you traitor. I'll get you back for this. Just you wait.
What? I'm just saying it as it is. If you mentioned this earlier, we wouldn't be having this conversation right now.
I'm sorry. Saw her?
Yeah, they arrived together. Bella looked fine to me then. I don't know.
Something crosses Becca's face, but it's gone before I can figure out what it is. Oh, you don't need to be a rocket scientist to know what that is. Oh crap. I had a feeling this would be the love triangle.
Oh, that's good. At least she didn't have to travel alone, right? At least. Good.
Someone is not happy.
See? I'm okay. I wouldn't be here if I wasn't.
And someone's too ditzy to notice.
And I don't want to miss Zach's film.
We can always watch it some other time.
Eh.
Sorry, Zachary.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. What the?
No, it's good. But
Hey.
you guys should really keep it down. We're starting to attract some attention.
Wait. Aren't you? Wait. They're not leaving, are they?
It's the premiere. The premiere's different. Right, Zach?
Who said anything about leaving? What the hell? They just got there. I shoot him a pleading look. Zach's a sensible guy. He'll understand. Please understand. Yeah, please understand. They just got there. They're gonna just leave? No.
Not really. But Rebecca has a point.
Dude, she just got there. Don't make her tell you what to do.
In the end, I think it's your call.
Lovely.
Oh, for heaven's sake.
Please, Becca. I really don't want to miss it.
She's not your mother. Oh, good God, this girl's annoying.
You're not missing it. We're just moving it on a different day so we can have a...
Look, you guys.
Ash's loud sigh unexpectedly cuts through the conversation. He's pinching the bridge of his nose as he speaks, something he usually does when he's getting impatient.
If she says she's okay, then there's nothing we can do about it. It's not like we can stop her either. Besides, she's still acting like the same old Isabella to me, if she can still run around like that.
Why are you taking her side?
Ooh, icy. Or frosty. Wait, I don't know what... Whatever. You know what I mean.
I'm not.
And he doesn't give a crap.
But if she wants to watch Zach's movie with us, I'm not going to stop her. She's probably the one looking forward to it the most.
See, I was hoping Zach would be the sensible one, but it just had to be the damn douchebag. Alright, I'll give you this one, douchebag.
Ash, that's... You, of all people, should know...
Tell you what, if I notice something amiss with her, I'll take her to the nearest hospital myself.
Yes, that will convince her to let this go.
Is that good enough for you?
Oh shit. I already know the answer before Becca voices it out. When at last she releases a deep breath and nods, albeit with great reluctance, I immediately tackle her into a hug.
Thanks, Becca.
It's always been you with him, isn't it?
Not very subtle, are you?
Did you say something?
It wasn't that quiet.
Me? Nothing. Don't mind me.
Oh god.
If you say so.
Okay, I'm sorry. If you two get together, like him and her, then... Oh, whatever the fuck.
Okay, guys, showtime's close, so I think I'm gonna get us some snacks. My treat. And then let's head inside.
All right, movie time.
Anyone here has a smaller bill?
What the fuck?
I think I do. Hold on.
I pull myself off from Becca to get my wallet from my bag, and
What's this?
it's already in Ash's hands before I can even react. What? The motherfucker just put his freaking hand in a girl's bag. Oh, dear God. You're a cop. Don't you think maybe you should... Right? Detective, cop, whatever. Oh, God, he must... I mean, they must be really close if he feels comfortable enough to just dig into her freaking bag without asking. And then he pulls out a freaking piece of paper. I mean, didn't she bury it in her bag? So it's not like he could have seen it. Behind him, Becca and Zach are both giving the piece of paper an intrigued look.
No! Give it back!
It's just a paper.
I
Okay.
don't care! Give it!
Looks ancient, too. Why do you keep this around?
I try to reach for it, but he holds the paper away above his head. What is this, high school? I've never been particularly sensitive about my own height, but right now I really wish I had that advantage over him. Okay, how short are you?
Don't open it!
What's the big deal? It's not like it's a love letter. I don't see any reason to...
What do you mean open it? I thought you just crinkled it up and put it in there. It's not like you have the envelope.
Hold on a second. This isn't it?
Oh, fuck.
Even if it is, it's not for you.
Okay, now I'm curious.
Oh my God, you're horrible. You're like one of those nosy, nagging... It's like, you know, you like are spewing like freaking... It's an S word and I cannot think of it right now. Snobbish, bullshittery. Damn it, I don't know what I'm trying to say.
I'm telling you, it's nothing like that. It's...
The rest of my words are lost when he unfolds the paper. And ta-da! I can't breathe. My heart feels stuck in my throat, pounding, threatening to burst out. Vaguely, I note how my hands are trembling at my sides. Clasping them together doesn't do any good. They're still shaking, but I hang on to them regardless. The awful sick weight that has taken its core in my stomach back in the open house returns full force. How do I fix this? How do I fix this? How do I fix this? I don't know. Saying it 3 times isn't helping, so someone please. Today is turning out to be a horrible nightmare.
Send this to 5 people or else. Well, that's interesting.
Guys, I think we should listen to Bella first.
Now you think you should listen to her?
Aren't you a few days early for Halloween?
Ash waves the paper in front of me, giving me a fleeting glimpse of its contents. I don't need to see it. I don't want to see it. The letters, the words, every stroke written in blood is already embedded in my mind. Maybe I should have just thrown it away when I had the chance. That way...
It's not a prank.
So does this mean she showed it to 5 people? Because she showed it to the 3, and then the 3 at the mansion. But that's 6 people. So, I mean, she met the 5, but the additional 1 isn't going to cause an issue, right? I'm assuming. It says at least 5 people, right? Or does it say 5? Fuck, it doesn't even matter. I'm making a mountain out of a molehill. It makes all of them stop. Even I am surprised with how steady my voice is.
What did you say?
What did you say? I don't remember.
This isn't a prank! I saw something!
Oh, that.
Hold on. Are we still talking about this paper? Or is it about the urban legend again?
Both. I know it sounds ridiculous.
You're saying this is a primitive version of a chain letter, and now that we've seen it, we're now cursed. You've got to be kidding me.
See? This is why I didn't want to tell you guys.
Isabella, aren't you taking this a bit too far?
It's not a joke! Will you guys listen to me first? I saw something in the house earlier. It stood right in front of me. If I hadn't gotten away, that thing might have...
Right. And in broad daylight, Isabella. Even someone gullible would find the logic in that screwed up. There's also no way in hell that this supernatural shit is true.
God. There's also no way in hell that this supernatural shit is true. You sound like a pompous... stop.
But it's real! What do you think I saw?
Yee, she's pissed.
Hallucination? A delusion? Didn't you say you fell down some stairs? So maybe Rebecca's right.
You were just on her side a few minutes ago.
It happened after, when I was trying to get away. I almost got stuck in the same room with that thing. We're all in danger. I thought you were my friends. Why don't you believe me?
We are, and you know that. But this thing and that thing has got nothing to do with the other.
How would you know?
When Rose called earlier, I thought she's just exaggerating. But based on what I'm seeing right now, maybe it's better if we really postpone this for now.
Oh dear God.
Don't bother.
Without another word, I snatched the letter out of Ash's hand and stuffed it back in my bag with more force than necessary. I'm tired. I got cursed, saw a ghost, probably lost a sale, got kicked out of the open house I'm supposed to be hosting. My own friends won't believe me, and all of them think I'm crazy. To top it all off, there's a dull ache at the back of my head begging for a little attention I can't afford to give right now. Honestly, there's only so much a person can take within a single day. I just want to go home, curl up in my bed, and never think about today. But before I can take a single step away from the group...
Guys!
Zach rarely ever raises his voice, even when there's a point he wants to drive home, and hearing him take on that tone completely throws me off. Even Ash and Becca. Whatever harsh words yet to come out from the argument immediately die on our tongues.
Why don't we all calm down first? I'm sure Isabella has her reasons too. No need to be hard on her. And hey, ain't this supposed to be a happy get-together?
Thank you.
We haven't seen each other for months. I'd really love to know what y'all have been up to. I only ever get to talk to Bella over chat. Please.
He has a point. Ash, for all his attempts to look cool and distant, has also been looking forward to this. He even took the time to call this morning for a reminder. He never does that. Becca too. I'm pretty sure that's another reason why she got out of bed today. Yet, despite Zach's attempts to lighten things up or Ash's and Becca's acquiescing gestures, the tightness in my chest remains. I should have just kept it to myself, or at least went with the idea that it's a prank. If I did, things might not have turned out the way they did. No sour mood, no bad vibes. Careless, so careless. Maybe leaving is the better decision for all of us. Oh, hell no! Oh, come on. Quit being self-centered. You're here to support a friend. You guys are already standing right outside. You're going to the goddamn movie. Any other day, I'd excuse myself and go straight home. But this is something special to Zach, something he worked so hard to bring to life. I should know better. I might be having a bad day, but being with a few people I care about far outweighs the idea of spending the rest of the day throwing a tantrum alone in my room. And what if the thing in the attic follows me home? That's a good point. I was about to mouth off, but no, valid. I don't want to be left with my thoughts either. I can still see it whenever I close my eyes. And maybe, if I stay, let our heads cool down first before telling them what happened, they'll listen to me. There's nothing you can't solve with a calm head. One step at a time, Isabella. That's what Mama used to tell me. Besides, I don't have the heart to ditch Zach. A smile is back on my face when I look back at them.
If we keep arguing here, we're going to miss the first few minutes.
All right, that's the Isabella I know.
Oh, good. I thought for sure you were going to cry.
This time, I really do send an elbow straight to his stomach. Good. Stupid Ash. Being virtually challenged has its perks too.
What was that for?
Vertically. God damn it. Sorry, I meant vertically challenged. Virtually challenged. Lovely.
Stop calling me a crybaby! I'm not one!
Aw, don't cry.
Jerk!
Stop it!
Okay, scaredy cat then.
That too! If you repeat that, I swear I'll...
Let's just go.
Without another word, Becca goes inside. She doesn't even stop to wait for us when I call after her. Ooh. Jesus. Jealousy. Ash and I exchange looks at that, the same question likely swimming inside our minds. Okay. Y'all? I mean, Isabella I can understand because she sounds like a ditzy girl anyway who's just clueless about everything. But, dude, you're a detective. You've known that chick since childhood. You don't think... Did something happen at school after I left? Is she having a bad day too? Y'all suck. I'll try asking her about it later, I guess. Oh, no, you're not.
So, you guys go catch up with her. I'll go get us the food I promised.
But you'll miss it!
Didn't you say watching a movie without food ain't fun? And it ain't like I haven't seen it. I made it, remember? I'll be in there soon.
One friendly tap on my shoulder and then he's gone. A few moviegoers are still milling about. Some are still waiting in line for tickets, but otherwise, most of the crowd are already inside. There's nothing much for us to do here now. Not a word of protest comes from me when Ash gestures for the two of us to head inside.
And then?
Are you sure it wasn't one of the cleaning crews?
Really?
Absolutely sure.
You couldn't wait until after the movie. Somehow, halfway through the movie, the conversation steered towards what happened in the mansion. To be fair, Zach was the one who brought it up again. In his own movie's premiere. Now the film's just serving as a background noise, while we're speaking in hushed tones, careful not to disturb anyone inside the small hall. Well, except for Ash. I just hope we don't end up arguing about it again. We'd all get kicked out for sure. Though, with how loud Ash's voice is, we'll probably get thrown out way before any argument happens. Only Becca still remains engrossed in the movie, completely ignoring us. Yeah, I wonder why. She's been quiet the whole evening, speaking only when referred to. If I didn't know any better, I'd think we did something that offended her. Yeah. I mean, you kind of stole the attention from her man candy. And you're hogging it all to yourself, you oblivious little... Did we? Yeah, you did. Oh, please tell me she recognizes that... No, she won't. This is a visual novel. Who am I kidding?
And then I ran. You heard what happened after.
I still think it's something else.
It was standing right in front of me, Ash.
He's one of the smartest people I know, but geez, he should learn to listen. Plus, didn't he say he doesn't believe in these things? Why is he in this conversation again?
I heard what you said, but it's a small room. There are a lot of things someone else could have done there without your knowledge. If I could see it up close, maybe I can...
I am not going back there.
Ain't that a problem if you're hosting an open house?
Rose does the first floor tour.
I ain't sure ghosts can be restricted to one room, Bella.
There are no ghosts, Zach. Stop putting useless ideas in her head.
Stop, and you should stop shouting and lower your voice.
Yeah, but I was thinking, maybe all the house needs is a blessing. Wasn't it left uninhabited for years?
Oh, the house did change hands over the years from one distant relative of the Ermengardes to another. None of them bothered to live in it, though, and it remained that way up until its current owners decided to sell it. Why didn't I think of that?
I didn't peg you as the religious type, Zach.
Nothing like that, Ash. Who knows, though? It might bring something positive to the place.
That's not a bad idea. I just don't know where I could find someone.
You're not seriously considering his suggestion, are you?
Do you have a better idea?
I know where. I could contact him for you if you want.
You'd do that?
Or we can find you a psychologist instead.
There are a few times in my life when I wish my glowers can kill. This is one of those.
Ash, that is not a very appropriate thing to say right now.
I don't think he gives a shit.
No, wait, that's not what I meant.
Really?
Ethnographer. I meant ethnographer. This guy's a psychologist too, of course, if you...
Ashton, if you don't stop...
Rebecca knows the guy I'm talking about too.
Oh, God.
She can vouch for him.
Becca tears her eyes away from the screen at the mention of her name.
Huh? What? Oh, are you talking about Professor Andrew? He used to work with my parents at the university. And can you guys keep it down?
Sorry, the scaredy cat here mentioned curses. Not that I'm saying this is one, but talking to him is a better solution for me than getting a random priest to bless an old house. He'll even help you figure things out, teach you a couple things. And probably put your fears to rest, since this looks to be bothering you a lot.
Aw, he cares. Ash might be right too. However, what Zach suggested is something I'm more familiar with. Granted, they don't believe me. They're only giving me these suggestions to put my mind at ease, but it's better than being ignored or being laughed at. I can take comfort in knowing that they are willing to hear me out.
So, what do you think?
Crap, I have to pick?
It's your call. We'll go with whatever you want.
I don't know.
Who should I meet? Well, it seems like you're a religious nutcase, so I'm gonna say meet with a priest, since all you want to do is pray and say, please, someone help me. Anybody, if you can hear my voice, please help me. So yeah, let's do this one.
I'll think about it. But maybe we could go with Zach's idea?
I'm not so sure about that.
Of course not. You're a realist.
Well, it wouldn't
Like me.
hurt to try, right? If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. At least we did something than just stand around.
Yeah, and I want to see this priest in action.
I'll let you know when he's available, Bella.
Thanks, Zach. I knew I could count on you.
Guys, I said keep it down. You keep insisting that we still watch it, yet you're not even paying attention yourselves.
It ain't a big deal, Rebecca. I'm the one who broached the subject in the first place.
Dude, shut up.
It's still your film, Zachary. A good film, mind you. You worked hard on this. The least we could do is watch it with you.
And that's what you're all doing. I really appreciate all of you making time for this.
Aw, you can't get mad at Zach. He's too humble.
Sorry, Becca. We'll stop now.
I throw her an apologetic look, even if Ash is the only one she should be reprimanding, but her attention is already back on the screen. She's ignoring us again. When Becca's acting this way, there's a big chance something's nagging at her. We really need to talk. We all fall into a comfortable silence after, the kind only you can share with people you're most at ease with. For the first time today, the letter lays forgotten in my bag, if only for a few hours. Night has fallen by the time we exit the movie house. Despite the late hour, the streets are still bustling full of people, those about to head home, those set to meet someone, even those simply wandering about. Walking in the sea of unfamiliar souls, it strikes me how easy it is for one to get lost in a city as nondescript as Luxborn. I was afraid, too, at one point back when I was new and had just set foot in this place. Now, with familiar faces walking with me, it feels a little like home. Zach and Ash bid us goodbye shortly before Becca and I crossed to the other side of the street. The former claiming he's got a few freelance jobs to take care of before the day ends. And Ash? Who knows? He never tells. Sometimes he'll just randomly appear at your doorstep, looking for a place to crash. He does that to Zach a lot, much to the latter's frustration. But he's a busy guy too, in spite of the laid-back air he gives off.
Thanks for today, everyone!
No problem, Zach. I'm sorry for what happened earlier. Huh?
A sensation. Cold, sickening, drowning, my chest tightening, breathing becoming labored. I can taste blood in my mouth. The edges of my vision blurs. In the distance, amidst the countless nameless people going about their lives, A voice reaches out to me. Don't turn around. Don't turn around. Pleading even as I clench my eyes tight and clasp my hands over my ears. Whispering and whispering and whispering. Why the hell did you close your eyes? Calling out.
No, not me.
Somebody.
Isabella? Earth to Isabella?
At her voice, the whole world suddenly snaps into place. The murmur's gone. When I open my eyes, Becca raises an eyebrow at me in question.
Weren't you listening? Are you coming with me?
Oh, yeah. Just... okay. Sorry, I spaced out.
You always do that.
I follow her without complaint, but not before sneaking a glance to the far end of the street. Where the voice came from, where another set of eyes might be staring at me. Nothing. There are only Zach and Ash watching over us as we head back to where Becca parked her car. If I'm expecting to see something or someone there, I try not to let it show. Try not to think of the tiny pinpricks of fear crawling at the pit of my stomach.
See you guys some other time.
Yeah, see ya!
Another glance, and with a final wave, we go off our own ways. I don't know what I saw. I don't know what I heard. I don't want to know. And if this is what would help me sleep tonight, what would give me the normalcy in my life, then so be it. Okay. So, I think that's a good place to stop because it is almost 2 hours and my mouth hurts and my throat's dry and yeah. But before I go, I'm going to click on this right here. I think, yeah, relationships, just to see what this is. Oh, okay. So I guess this keeps track of the current, I guess, how each person feels about you. So Hannah doesn't give a crap about me, neither does Luke. That's not surprising. Somehow Marianne and I are on good footing. Zach and I are close. Becca's not too thrilled with me, and Ash is alright, so okay, so I guess I'll be checking this out as I go through the game. And then this is the journal. Okay, so I guess this is just, yeah, okay, so this just keeps tabs of everything that's going on in the story. Oh wait, there was something else. Timeline. Profiles. Timeline. Okay, never mind. There was something else. Oh, the branching tree. This feature shows the outline of your current chapter and has content that others might deem as spoilers. Do you want to proceed? No, I don't. I'm not going to spoil this for me or for anybody else. Okay, so I'm going to stop here. I know the music sounds eerie. I kind of want to see what happens, but I'm not. I'm going to stop for real. So thank you so much. I really appreciate you all taking the time to listen to this, and I hope you're enjoying it as much as I am. Well, I mean, the story, so far it sounds alright. The characters are kind of goofy. They're stencil-like characters, you know. It's like typical jock or typical douchebag, typical ditz, typical worrywart, and then the black guy. Haha. So I am looking forward to seeing what happens as I progress through the story, and I hope you all are too. Anyway, thanks so much, and I'll see you next time. Bye.